And tax. Did you know that tax is one of the sources of state income to finance various development programs in an effort to prosper the community? However, until now, its potential still needs to be empowered and improved. So the Ministry of Finance Voluntary Disclosure Programs, or FDP, needs to ensure that tax revenue are in accordance with the announced potential. Well, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I want to say thank you, all of you, for coming to my presentation video. Before we enter the discussion, I would like to introduce myself, and my name is Salwalani Faisal from the Public Sector Accounting Class 201 with attendance number 22. Okay, in this presentation, we will discuss an essay I wrote about FDP, or Voluntary Disclosure Programs, entitled Not Just a Tax Amnesty, FDP is an Opportunity. FDP is also part of government policy. So what is meant by government policy? Government policy is essentially a policy aimed at the public in a broad sense, like state, society, in various status, and for the public interest, whether carried out directly or indirectly on multi-type dimension of public life. So voluntary disclosure programs is an opportunity for taxpayers to voluntarily report or disclose unfulfilled tax obligation through asset disclosure-based income tax payment. These programs applies to harmonization of tax regulation law number 7 of 2022, which aims to increase the voluntary compliance of taxpayer and their administrator depending simplicity, law, and benefit. This FDP is carried out for 6 months from 1 January 2022 to 30 June 2022. This is because there are still tax amnesty participants who have not declared all their assets at the time of tax amnesty. So FDP is a facility provided by the government to taxpayers. Criteria for taxpayers who can take advantage of the voluntary disclosure programs is the first policy for taxpayer participating in tax amnesty and the second policy for an individual taxpayer. FDP consists of two policies. Policy 1 is Policy 1. The subject of Policy 1 is personal and corporate taxpayers tax amnesty participants. Asset base from Policy 1, asset as of December 31, 2015 that have not disclosed during the tax amnesty. Final income tax rate 11% for foreign declaration, 8% for repatriate foreign assets and domestic assets, 6% for repatriate foreign assets and domestic assets which are invested in SBN downstream renewable energy. And policy 2, subject from policy 2 is taxpayer and tax object. Asset-based policy 2, 2016, 2016 and 2022 education assets that have not been recounted to the 2020 annual tax return. 8% for foreign declaration, final income tax rate, and final income tax rate for 40% for repatriated foreign asset and domestic asset. Final income tax rate 12% for repatriated foreign asset and domestic asset which are invested in SBN downstream or renewable energy. FDP also has benefits for both policy, but the first policy consists of one is not panels article 18 section 3 of the tax amnesty, and 2 data protection. Data protection means data or information source for property disclosure, notification letter, or in Indonesia it is called SPPH, and its administrative assessment by the Ministry of Finance or other parties who relate to implementations of the harmonization of tax regulation law does not can be used as a basis for researching the investigation and criminal prosecution against taxpayers. As for the benefits of the second policy, one is no decision has been issued for obligation 2016, 16 and 2020 unless one treasurer not disclosed. And data protection is same like policy one. So through voluntary disclosure programs, taxpayer can make disclosure through property disclosure notification letter. This letter will be submitted online through the tax page. Then this must be accompanied with several supporting documents such as parent property disclosure, notification letter, proof of final income tax payment, list of debt, statement of repatriation on or investment, list of net asset details. If the taxpayer has not participated in the provisional tax amnesty or FDP, it is necessary to attach other additional documentation, letter of revocation of apple lawsuit and judicial review, as well as a statement of revocation of request for restitute or legal remedies. Thank you for your attention. I hope this presentation has given us the new insight on the voluntary disclosure program. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.